All right, let's get right into it. We're going to tackle a huge question today. How in the world do you build some serious wealth when you're starting out with a pretty modest salary? Let's dive in and figure it out. So here's the big one, right? The question so many of us have asked, especially at the start of our careers. Is it even possible to dream about being a millionaire on 30 grand a year? Well, the answer just might surprise you. You know, for a lot of people just getting started, maybe fresh out of school, this isn't some hypothetical number. It's reality. It's that first job where you're just trying to figure out how to pay the bills and maybe, just maybe, get ahead. So let's get real about what it takes. And that's the absolute truth, isn't it? Let's be clear from the get-go. This is not some get-rich-quick fantasy. The source material is super clear on this. It's all about having a smart, disciplined plan that you stick to over time. It's grounded in the real world, which is exactly what we need. Okay, so before we can even start talking about investing and making money, we have to build the foundation. There are two really important ideas you've got to get down first to make any of this actually work. The very first piece of advice is a total game changer. You have to find a way to make more money. Seriously, this could be anything from learning a new skill, maybe taking an online course, to starting a little side hustle. Turning that 30,000 into 40 or even more just puts everything on hyperdrive. And second, you absolutely need a budget. You need a plan for your money. A really simple but powerful way to start is with the 50-30-20 rule. It's a straightforward framework that gives every single one of your dollars a job to do. So how does that actually break down? Well, on a $30,000 salary, you're probably taking home about $2,500 a month. Using the rule, half of that, $1,250, goes to your absolute needs like rent and groceries. Then 30%, or $750, is for your wants. But here's the magic number, that final 20%. That's $500 every single month that you dedicate to your future. That's the seed you're going to grow your wealth from. Okay, so you've got your plan, you've got that $500 a month ready to go. Now for the exciting part. Where do you actually put it? We're going to explore 3 completely different paths you could take. Each one has a different level of risk and a wildly different outcome. First, let's look at the tools in our financial toolkit. You've got things like CDs, which are super safe, but, they don't pay much. Then you've got stock index funds, you've got large cap, which are the big, stable companies, mid cap, and then small cap funds, which are definitely riskier, but have the potential for much higher returns. Just remember the golden rule. More potential reward almost always comes with more risk. Let's start with path number 1. We'll call this the safe route. This is for the person who wants to play it super conservative. The strategy here is to put all your investment money into certificates of deposit or CDs. Now, after 30 years of doing this, your portfolio is worth about $950,000. And that sounds amazing, right? But here's the catch, inflation. When you adjust for what that money can actually buy in today's dollars, it's really only worth about $520,000. With a 5% return, you're pretty much just keeping pace with inflation. You're saving, sure, but you're not really building serious wealth. So what happens if we're willing to take on a little more risk to get a much better return? Well, that brings us to path number 2, the balanced approach. And here, we're going to use a mix of those stock index funds. For this strategy, we're going to diversify. We're not putting all our eggs in one basket. We'll put 50% into those big, stable, large cap funds, 30% into mid caps, and the last 20% into small caps. This mix gives us a target for a much healthier average return, somewhere around 11% a year. And wow, just look at the difference here. After 25 years, boom, you've crossed the $1 million mark. And if you stick with it for 30 years, your portfolio grows to $2.3 million. After you account for inflation, that's $1.3 million in today's money. Okay, now we're talking. You're not just beating inflation anymore, you're absolutely crushing it and building real life-changing wealth. But what if you're young? What if you're in your early 20s and you have decades to let your money grow? You might be willing to take on even more risk for the chance at a truly massive reward. So let's check out path 3. This approach completely flips the last one on its head. We're going heavy on the riskier, higher return assets. A whopping 70% goes into small cap funds, 20% into mid cap, and just a tiny 10% in the stable large caps. With this mix, we're aiming for an average return of around 13% a year. And this is where things just get absolutely wild. With this aggressive strategy, you hit that $1 million milestone in just 20 years. And after 30 years, your portfolio just skyrockets to $6.5 million. Even after you adjust that for inflation, that's $3.6 million in today's money. It is just staggering to look at. So let's put it all together. Let's look at the grand finale. After 30 years of consistent investing, what is the actual payoff in today's dollars for each of these three paths? This safe route lands you at $500,000. A very respectable amount of money for sure, but it doesn't quite get you to that millionaire status. The balanced approach gets you here, $1.3 million. With this strategy, you are officially a millionaire. You've built a very comfortable future for yourself. And the high-risk, high-reward path? An absolutely incredible $3.6 million. This is the kind of wealth that can mean financial freedom for you and maybe even for generations to come. I mean, when you see the results laid out side by side like this, the power of your choice is just so clear. The difference between these paths isn't just a few bucks. We're talking about millions of dollars. A slightly higher average return when it's compounded over decades leads to a completely different world of outcomes. So you might be asking yourself, what is the magic here? How is this even possible? Well, it's not magic at all. It's actually one of the most powerful forces in all of finance. It's all about compounding. Think of it like a tiny snowball at the top of a very long hill. As it starts to roll, it picks up more snow, getting a little bigger. And as it gets bigger, it picks up snow even faster. It just keeps growing, and the growth accelerates. Your money works the exact same way. Your earnings start making their own earnings, and over time, that growth becomes explosive. So the biggest takeaway from all of this is that the principles are the same, whether you're starting with 30 grand a year or 100 grand. The key is to start early, be consistent, and choose a strategy that actually aligns with your own personal goals and, importantly, your comfort level with risk. And all of that leaves us with one final and really important question. Looking at these three paths, the safe one, the balanced one, or the high-risk, high-reward one, what makes the most sense for you? What's your playbook for building wealth gonna look like? The journey starts right now.